Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
It's another good time. That's right, here with us two busy blondes. It is a good time to have a good time. And so we hope that you're going to enjoy being with these two busy blondes and a few of our friends who are coming in to share a few ideas and some passions and some music and some good business.
Yeah, because we're always rocking it right on the Rocket Right Show.
That's right. That's right.
And we're always right. And we have the right lineup of guests today. And we definitely want to go ahead and say we're matching here with Jason Cheek, who has brought us fabulous TruBlue Water. And we are going to be talking about that because we are in the Partners One studio.
That's right.
And Jason is our featured business today. But boy, do we have a great lineup. We want you to stay put because we've got some real life, real crime, one of the top podcasts with Woody Overton. And then I am going to tell you, because I know you have been wanting to know since the last time we talked about the COVID-15.
Yes.
What is the best diet? Is there really an answer to that question? So,
I think it might be chocolate, and we'll tell you about that in a little bit.
Okay. I like that kind of diet. Well, we'll see if that fits in there. And then, man, we're going to have music and art by Shelli and Toby Tomplay. So you are going to stay with us the entire hour.
That's right. And if you have not seen their Facebook Live and Roni the Tiger, we're going to bring you a little bit of what they do so you can end up watching them, listening to the new Real Life, Real Crime podcast with some cool, delicious water as you're on the diet, getting rid of the COVID-15.
Well, we do know that having plenty of water is good for the diet, so they'll have to stick with our tips. So let's just jump right in here and talk about how did you decide to start this company, TruBlue Water?
So I was in the military for a few years. I got out. I was looking for a job. And when I was looking for a job, I just wanted something that paid decent money and I could be active and physically outside. So my cousin was working for a big, large corporation, and he said, look, it pays okay, but you get to drink all the water you want all day. So I was like, man.
I thought you were going to say something else, but okay.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, okay. So I could go sweat and work, and I could drink all the water I want, and have a good time out there. So worked for that large corporation for a long time. And it kept getting bought out, and so many rules. And then they put a camera in my face one day. And I said, man, a camera in my face right here? And it just got really frustrating as a person who just liked my privacy. So one day I just said, hey, I want to start a water company. So I talked to my wife, and we took a big leap of faith, watched a lot of Steve Harvey videos about jumping and all that stuff. And it's really scary. So we found someone to bottle for us, which was really tough. And people call you crazy. They say, man, you want to go out and start a water company with 0 customers, with 0 income, buy a building, employ people, buy a truck. It's a big startup.
Right. And
we didn't really have much money to start with. So we just jumped in, and we've been in business for 3 years. We have about 600 customers now.
That's fantastic.
We serve small lawyers, dentists, chemical plants. We supply 6 different supply companies in Baton Rouge with their bottled water that they distribute to plants. I supply a company in California with water through different methods from bigger companies and shipping it to them. So we've learned a lot along the way, but the most important part that I've learned is just by saying yes. When someone asks you if would you like to do this for me? Yeah, I just say yes.
Yes.
It ends up to be a great opportunity every single time. So,
but you might not have had a lot of startup capital, but what you had was a good work ethic.
Yes.
And so you believed in you, your wife believed in the two of you, and you knew that you could do this.
Yeah.
You just weren't going to say no, you were going to say...
I was going to say yes.
That's right.
when we were talking to the gentleman who was going to bottle for us when we first started, he told my wife, he said, are you sure are you sure that y'all can do this? And she came back on top of me and said, look, my husband's ran 100 miles before. He's ran the Boston Marathon. He was in the Army, he went to Iraq. If there's anyone that could do it, it's him. And I'm just a regular person, but I just work hard, and she believed in me. That's why we did it.
Well, you
that's
married
great.
the right one.
Yeah.
You know what? And thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your service, for what you've done for our country and what you're doing for our state.
Yeah.
Because you are the backbone of America. You
Yeah.
are the small business, independent owned company, and you're doing it
Yep, every day.
every day.
That's right.
That's great. And you have the bottles of water that we're drinking, but then you supply the big
Yes, ma'am. We have
bottle stands to lots of businesses, correct?
Yep, we have the 5-gallon water coolers, bottom load and top load. The bottom load is pretty cool, so you don't have to lift the bottle on top. You can just put the
that's
bottle
nice.
underneath, and it's self-sanitizing. Also, it's really easy to clean with COVID restrictions and stuff. They're really easy to clean. We have the private label water that looks just like the TruBlue Water. It's just it has your logo on it.
Oh, cool.
We also have My High. It's an electrolyte replacement drink that's made by Matt Flynn right here in town. So,
You know what? That's great. Tied in
Yeah.
Matt Flynn.
yeah, so it is kind of cool. He calls himself the king of hydration. I take offense to that.
I like that.
You take offense to that?
Matt, you hear me? I take offense. No, but he's a nice guy. We do a lot of business together, and I
That's
always
great.
try to help him, and he helps me when we can. So
That's
That's awesome.
fantastic.
Well, tell us, talking about helping, tell us, how did COVID affect you? When it hit, and now with the reopening, what kind of changes are you seeing, in business, and are things that you're having to do different to kind of make things happen?
yeah, so when it first hit, and the governor issued the stay-at-home order, it was kind of like very vague. So I didn't really know what to do, honestly. I just know I like to work, and I wasn't gonna sit at home. And so we started looking at all the regulations we were deemed essential. So we just kept delivering, and then as we got the guidance, sanitize your hands often. At first it was don't wear a mask, so we didn't wear a mask, and then when they started changing things, we started wearing masks for all of our customers. And it is hot outside when you're in and out. I was in a chemical plant today, and I was in and out, and I really thought I was gonna throw up because it was so hot and I couldn't really
And you
breathe.
have the mask on,
But
yeah.
it's part of the climate we're in now, so you just have to do
Yeah.
it. A lot of our small businesses were closed, and also a lot of them were scared to open the doors for us. So we didn't mind. We just we would call them when we were outside. We would ask them to place the bottles outside, and then we would just swap them out, and they would bring the bottles inside. So it's a little bit more physical for them, but a lot of people didn't mind.
But it also made for shorter delivery times for y'all.
Well, it added to the
Little
days.
bit.
Yeah, and we have to do a lot of temperature checks now, which adds time for our delivery guys. But we're just trying to do everything we can to keep everyone safe and to get the economy back rolling because we need jobs.
We do need jobs.
Absolutely. Well, I know that you're a Partners One member.
Yes.
And tell us, how has your relationship with being a Partners One member affected your business, or what could you tell people that don't know much about it?
So we joined Partners, I guess a little over a year ago, and we were a little nervous about doing it, but right when we jumped in, we had at Frank's, we went and they had other business owners. Everybody was really down to earth. And what I love about Partners, you're actually meeting the owners, the decision makers. So you don't have to go through a lot of red tape. Like when I go to a chemical plant and try to solicit, there's doors up and red flags, and you can't come in here, and it's so hard.
Yeah.
But with Partners, they do a lot of soliciting for us. So, and also when I go out to eat, people ask me, Partners card, you sell water, and we just hook up. I'd start bringing it to the house or something. So we use it for our oil changes, for maintenance for our vehicles. I brought a little list.
Yeah, I think the day that I called you about this interview, you were getting your oil changed.
I was. I was at Dipsticks. We get
Partners One member.
Partners One member. He was actually my referral. And then we got security. We have our pest control, our lawn care, and I buy my donuts for my potential customers. I buy cakes for like my existing customers, tell them thank you. So there's all kind of...
You might have to start giving them boozy cakes because Chef Schomburg, that was on a few weeks ago. Yeah, she just joined and she does boozy cakes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now they think every dessert that I bring, because we always want our guests to have a great time and we like to treat them. Now, after she's been on, they think all of my desserts should have booze in them. But sometimes I bring them separately.
Yes.
And Betsy brought some chocolate that we can't eat. We're going to find out about in a little bit.
I'm going to have to look them up on my app when I leave.
Yeah, that's right.
The Moxie app.
That's right, the Moxie app. Well, it's just a great referral network, and we're just so thrilled that the group is a studio sponsor of ours, so we can share more about the independently owned and operated businesses that are owned by families and people in our state, in our area.
Yeah. And there's nothing better than word of mouth.
Exactly.
People.
And I love they send the emails out with all the new people on Partners One, and they also ask us often, hey, would you like more customers? We can help you out. So it's a good program.
I love that too. And I'm going to tell you, we give everybody a parting guest. And I found a wine that has my name on it. And so, Betsy, we're going to have to look for one with your name on it.
Okay.
But we're going to turn...
Why don't we just bottle one that's got my name on it?
Well, maybe we'll do that. We're going to swap out this water. I'm going to turn your water into some wine. So, my first gift to you.
Awesome.
I think maybe we should have Rocket Right water.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
it's healthier and everybody can drink it.
We're gonna talk about that for sure.
We can do
but thank you so much.
Thank you,
Jason. I haven't even had any of that wine. Cheek. Always remember Cheek with TruBlue Water. Thank you so much for joining us today. And man, stay tuned because we got some real life, real crime up next. I'm gonna tell you about: is there an answer to? Is there the right diet, the best diet? And then stay tuned for some amazing art and music by Toby and Shelli Tomplay. So
don't miss it. You're going to want to stay tuned. And we want to make sure that you can find us on Facebook, on rockitright.com. Anything that you have as an idea, we want to hear about it.
Yep, you might want to be our next guest. We give treats.
That's right. Tuning in for a good time.
Well, thanks for having me, y'all.
Thank you for being with us.
Hey, y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore our state. Fill her up, then try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways. Louisiana's a trip. Take one today.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaStaycation.com. Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I've had my fair share of experiences with disasters, and I know Louisianans helping one another is as much a part of our culture as gumbo and Mardi Gras. When it comes to disasters, you can help your community most by getting trained as a volunteer to help with the disaster recovery. For more information about this, visit the websites below and be prepared.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Clarence Bud Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
And welcome back to Rock It Right. We are so glad that you decided to spend a little time with us, having a little good time. We're going to be talking in a minute about a little real life, real crime. But first, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Selassie's Jewelry and Fine Gifts. Tonight, I brought the chocolate, 10 karat rose gold with chocolate diamonds. And let me just tell you
that won't put a pound on you.
Look, won't put a pound on you.
I like that
less
kind of
than an
chocolate.
ounce. And look, that is the most gorgeous set. And if anyone speaks to Santa between now and Christmas,
you want
Renee already knows. So you can shop Selassie's Jewelry online. You can go to Facebook and see some of the things they have. But they always take care of everyone. And so we just appreciate their sponsorship of our show. And we also appreciate the sponsorship of Advantage Health Solutions, Dr. Boyd Michael Helm. There are so many people in our state that are suffering with opioid and heroin addiction. And if you or someone you love is dependent, we need to get you to Dr. Boyd Michael Helm. And so we hope that you'll give them a call. Look for them on Facebook at Advantage Health Solutions. Their phone number is 225-769-6595. So we are so glad that you could come. I feel we have a real celebrity in the house.
We do.
I know.
Woody Overton, for those that might have only heard you and hadn't seen you, real life, real crime podcast. And it's just been going over a little over a year, is that right? And
About
you've got
a year and a half.
a
yes,
year
ma'am.
and a half. Well, that's a little over. I mean, I guess, okay, you're halving that,
Right.
But 2.2 million
Actually, it's
down?
going to be 2.3 this week.
Dadgummit, it's
That
just
is
rising by the
crazy.
minute. I mean,
That's
wow.
crazy.
So let's talk about, I'm going to look at my list here. You were a former homicide detective, a state trooper, a SWAT team member, Army veteran, board certified polygraphist. Did I say that right?
Polygraphist, yes.
Polygraphist. Okay, I thought I was going to mess that up. I mean, a whole host of things. Now, how did you decide that you wanted to do a podcast?
By pure accident.
Okay. Let's talk about that accident.
All right,
How
so
did that
the
happen?
story goes, and my wife hates when I tell this, but I was taking my wife to the coast for the weekend during hunting season. It was a bad.
That was very
a
nice
bad
of you
weekend
during
for
hunting season.
She lets me hunt all the time. So I was taking her to the coast, and she said, "You know, you need to start a podcast." And I was like, "I don't even know what a podcast is." And I didn't. And she said, "Well, everybody likes your voice, and they like your stories, and you need to tell a story." I was like, "Well, I don't know." So we started listening to the true crime, the top ones on the way to the coast, and I was like, "Geez, this is boring." I mean, no offense to them, but they were telling stories that they've read off the internet about, JonBenet Ramsey or Ted Bundy, whatever. And I was like, bored out of my skull. I said, "You want me to tell a story? I'll tell a story." And so I dropped one, and we kind of went viral from there.
So where did you drop it initially for people to find you?
I said we dropped it. My wife and I put it together, and Lipson was our host at the time, and we pushed it out, and just by word of mouth, it just went viral.
But you
crazy.
actually lived those stories,
Yes,
and they were
yes,
your
that's
stories and
correct.
things, not somebody reading. We could all read about JonBenet Ramsey or other crimes, but to have gone through exactly step by step of how this person was caught or what had happened to the victims, those types of things.
And what I think the difference is, I I never use any notes. I'm unscripted, unfiltered, and I give a warning before every show. But I take people inside the crime scene tape, right? Where other shows tell you, what they read, et cetera. I actually take you in and tell you what I saw and smelled and felt, and how I get confessions and how I work the cases. And first person, I was there, right?
Yeah,
and they almost feel like they're there, like watching a movie.
Right.
But is it cathartic for you? Does it feel good to kind of get those things out as you're sharing that?
I didn't really know that I evidently was a storyteller, right? And then I've come to realize that over the last year and a half. But the telling them, I'm one of the lucky ones. People ask me all the time, how did you handle all the blood and guts and things like that? I never think about it. I don't have PTSD. I was able to block it out until I drive by somewhere or something reminds me of an incident. So getting in and telling the stories, I don't use the notes. I have a photographic memory. I can actually tell you, I can see the things that were hanging on the wall, what it may be. And getting to tell the stories, it's just, maybe it's therapeutic for me, but I found out that I really enjoyed it.
Well, not everybody's a good storyteller.
Right.
And not everybody's going to get that many followers, so that really is a gift.
But you have the podcast, but then you've got to promote it, and you've got lots of followers on all your social media pages. How do you keep up with all of that?
That's a full-time gig for me now, and meaning that generally this time of the night, right, or first thing I wake up in the morning, I go in and I answer every single person who posts them. We have like 5 or 6 Facebook pages. One of them has over 23,000 members on a private group as of today. The social media, we've developed all this as we went along by trial and error, but I respond to everybody, and because I call my fans lifers, and they're fanatics, and if I ever get too busy for them, I should quit the show. Right?
I'm sure people like that connection.
And
they're probably listening and going, I have a question about that. Is it questions about what you talked about in the
some podcast? Of that, and some is life questions or crime questions, or I've taken on some cold cases and things like that we've had a lot of success in. So and then we had live shows that we sold out.
And I was amazed. That's the first time I had really heard about the podcast, because it was right before COVID hit, and I was going to be having some events down at the Basin for my Songwriters Festival, and the owner was like, oh my gosh, they've already sold 600 tickets. It's a podcast. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to check into this. Yeah. How in the world did you do that?
We were the first ones to sell the place out, and I think the next one that sold it out was Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah,
you beat Snoop Dogg in a ticket sale, in a ticket sell-off. You beat Snoop.
He's the only one that sold it out since us.
Oh, yeah.
Before COVID shut everything down. But that was a crazy event, and we had already done 3 live shows. I sold them out, and they sold out in less than an hour. And so this was promoted as the Crew Bash, my private
cool.
Facebook
so everybody's
group.
special.
It's called the Crew.
600 of your closest friends.
Right, but I think it was a lot more than 600. But they were hanging from the rafters, and we did the intro. Toby Tomplay does the music. He produces the show, but he wasn't the producer at the time. And we didn't know what we didn't know. Took the stage, and the audio was horrible, and Toby got on and saved us. But we rocked the house. I mean, we both drank them out of everything.
I remember that. I was there after that happened, and I remember they were so ecstatic about it. And it's good to have good friends that help you out, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So, and that's who you strike up relationships, like with Toby doing the music and the sound and producing it. But I think he was mentioning that you have a new podcast. Can we mention anything about that?
I started a cold case last year, boots on the ground, out of Rapides Parish, Courtney Coco's case, and was able to solve it. We're waiting on the rest now. But when I dropped the first episode on that, I've been getting requests on cold cases from people from all over, actually the world, but mostly the United States. And there's so many people out there that are hurting who don't know what happened, right? Then at the same time, I did Courtney Coco's, and then later on, Sheriff Hard out of Livingston Parish asked me to come in and work a case with his sheriff's office, which is Miss Barbara Blunt's case. And so we're actively working that. But what happens is we have such a volume of requests for, but a lot of lifers want to just hear me tell my stories. But and a lot of them love the cold case angle, but a lot of them don't. But I feel, as an old investigator, a homicide detective, that the cold cases are so important to me. And Toby and I had been talking about doing it, and we are going to do it. It's going to be a separate from real life real crime, where we will only focus on solving cold cases. Now, the big deal of it is, and I never would have known it, I wish I'd have known this in law enforcement, it's called crowdsourcing. We use our fans to solve the cases.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic way to involve people where they feel like they're actually contributing to somebody's piece.
Well, they tell me things they will not tell regular law enforcement, and I'm able to use that, and I don't have to abide by the law enforcement rules anymore. I'm able to use that to advance these cases and get closures for these families.
That's great.
It's amazing.
Well,
it is.
And did you also write a book?
I've written 2 books.
2 books. Man, I'm behind. And are they audiophile books too, where
One
you can
of them,
listen?
the Jesus Held Me, is a true story. What happened when I died on the table, and that is audio, and it's in paperback also.
Well, we're going to have you back to talk about that.
Exactly. I would love for you to come
where
back
can
and talk
people
about
get
that.
the books? Where do they go listen to everything and follow you and become a crew member? Spit it all out.
The lifers, we're going to be lifers now.
Yeah.
Google Real Life Real Crime. It's www.realliferealcrime.com or Woody Overton. And we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook. We have like 7 different pages for different things. And
you can get in anywhere and probably find out about all of this and be the first in the know for when the new podcast hits. Is that right?
Yes, and then we're going to continue to grow and go.
Well, come back and tell us a couple of the things you solve and a couple of the new things you're doing. Feel free to come back anytime, but we thank you for coming and being with us, Woody Overton.
Thank y'all for having me.
We appreciate it.
Look forward to speaking with y'all again.
Oh, I'm so glad.
That would
Thank
be
you so
great.
much.
Yes.
And if everybody will hang with us, we'll find out what the real diet, the real life, real diet would be.
Real life, real diet. Got it.
And then we're going to have Shelli and Toby Tomplay sharing some music, and Roni the Tiger. And we're just thankful that you're with us and that you're hanging with us for a good time here on Rock It Right.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll learn something, and we'll also increase your entertainment value with all these folks that you have stuff to do in your free time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
I was diagnosed October 19th. I immediately started with a multitude of scans, and then I was having an 8-hour surgery. My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics,
health,
music and entertainment,
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hey y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore our state. Fill her up, then try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways. Louisiana's a trip. Take one today.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaStaycation.com.
And you're back with the Rocket Right Show. I'm Dr. Kay Solar in the house with Hurricane Betsy Barnes. And our medical segment is brought to you each week by Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center.
That's right. I tell you what, we're really excited that you're able to share our show not only on Facebook or go to our website and see the latest episodes, but you can actually watch us in 22 parishes on Pelican Broadcasting. I know. So over 1 million homes. We're available in over 1 million homes in 22 parishes, as well as radio and TV. So we're thankful for Pelican Broadcasting and to continue our relationship with Guarantee Media and Talk 107.3 FM, the new flavor of talk, because you can hear us Saturday at 11, Sunday at 11, and on KWLA in East Texas and Western Louisiana on Monday mornings at 6 a.m. And on Pelican Broadcast, we're prime time. We're hooping it up, prime time.
Yep, and then we're all over the internet.
That's
so
right.
on Pelican Broadcasting YouTube, and you can also soon be on our YouTube, Rocket Right Show.
That's right.
Our Facebook, which is still Rocket Right Radio, but we might be converting that to show. But right now, Rocket Right Radio, because it's so fresh and brand new. And then our website, rocketright.com. So
And
we are
you might-
expanding and trying to expand everywhere except for what we're sitting on.
Our derriere. Everywhere but our derriere. That's what we're trying to not expand. But you know, one of the things that we like to do is we, as women, listen differently and we share differently and we connect differently than men do. Nothing against them, we love them. But we truly like to share some things that women are talking about and that women talk about with us. And Kay, being an OBGYN, they talk to her about a lot more things than we'd share on the show. But one of the things that's common among men and women is this COVID-15, the 15 pounds you gained cooking cookies, baking cookies, and being around the house and eating all your stores of food. Kay, you shared that last week, and I hadn't heard of the COVID-15, but I am feeling a little COVID-15-ish.
I know, and the thing of it is, a lot of times, you know, when people start thinking about, man, that snuck up on me really quick, but it doesn't come off really quick. But the biggest thing is that we also want to protect ourselves from getting the virus. And one of the best things is to be healthy and follow a healthy diet, because a lot of the things that people did, you know, you're at home, you're eating lots of unhealthy stuff frequently. And so it's time to really look at your health and go, okay, I need to get with it. But what I find is, and in my practice, a lot of folks would say, well, doc, what's the best diet to follow? Or how many calories should I have? And really to know how many calories you should have to even lose weight, well, you have to know what you're consuming already.
Right. Well, if you're a couch potato with a, you know, bag of chips, and you're looking on that, you've probably eaten more than the serving allows. But, you know, we kind of did this hokey pokey through COVID, didn't we? Stay in, go outside, stay in, exercise. It was kind of like, you know, through the different phases, not knowing, and I think people just wanted to feel safe, and so they didn't move around a lot,
and food
and
is
it was
a
just
security.
easy to gain.
You know, there's comfort food, food's a security. So I think, but what people, you know, what we want to look at is that obesity and being overweight is one of the risk factors for COVID.
Yes.
Not to say also a lot of other long-term health issues. So what I want to focus on today is say, first you need to know where you're at. So one of the things that you need to do is, if you have a phone, and everybody does, and they have it in their hand all the time, is pull up that MyFitnessPal app. There's several other ones. You can put in there what you're eating in a day and find out how many calories am I consuming. Because when you really start looking at your the serving sizes, let's say.
And the times you check the refrigerator to see if anything new is in there.
Well, once you put your serving sizes and you put your food in, you're going to know how many calories you're really consuming. So, and you'll also see, am I consuming way too many carbs? Am I, a carb factory? And that we know is not healthy. So I want to talk about, when you look at diets, you can break them down. And I listened to this great podcast by Peter Attia, who is a longevity specialist. And I think that's the goal with all of us. We want to live longer. And we want to live longer in a healthy way so that we can still do the things that we like to do, right? So if you look at the standard American diet, that typically is not very happy. It is really sad, just like it says in the abbreviation. And that's because it's lots of processed food, frequently high in carbs. And so any diet that you do, like I say, is pretty much better than the standard American diet. So there's several things, and some of them are more popular now than others, but a lot of times you need to do kind of a little combination dance of these. So you might have heard a lot about time-restricted feeding, and that means you limit the hours of when you are eating. So there's different regimens, 16-8, 18-6, 24, and I tried that the other week. I think I told you, Betsy. So that is, you are consuming food only 4 hours a day and fasting for 20. Now, if you did nothing but ate ding-dongs during that time, it still probably wouldn't be a very healthy thing. But if you're, but you can only consume so many calories in those 4 hours typically. And so that's kind of hard for a lot of people to do. The 18-6 is really easy. So if you think, if I was eating from like 2 to 8 p.m., I mean, that's doable. But what's one of the more common things is the diet restrictions. You're going to restrict yourself from having something. And it just depends on what is that for you. Are you doing keto? Are you vegan? Are you low carb? Are you low fat? Are you paleo? A lot of those are not long-term able to keep with it. Most people are not able to stay keto, forever, especially in the
strict... Well, it's not healthy to do it
Well,
forever.
Especially in the strict sense where you're having 5% of your diet pretty much as carbs, so really low carb, and then you're having about 20% protein, and you're having 75% fat, because you're getting a lot of times not healthy fats, but, then if you totally say, well, I'm on a low-fat diet, you might be eliminating some of the healthy fats. So those are things that can be done for a time. There are people who do adopt a vegan or a paleo lifestyle, and if you think about paleo, that's basically a hunter-gatherer diet. So it means that you are limiting dairy and legumes and grains during that, but you're also eliminating all of those processed foods. You're not having that. You're not having anything unless somebody was a hunter-gatherer.
If you do not eat fast food and you eliminate processed foods for the most part, you are going to feel better.
And most people will lose weight because, remember, a lot of it is just being smart. Things that have added sugar, processed foods. A lot of times people think, well, fruit juices, that's healthy, isn't it? Well, there's a lot of sugar in fruit juices. So a lot of it is just common sense. But another one of the things which really is tied to your longevity, which is what we're looking at, not just shaking those 15 pounds, but a lot of it is hypocaloric or intermittent fasting. And so a lot of things that we'll say, for women, 500 calories, but for a short period of time, for 5 days, maybe quarterly. This longevity specialist, I don't know how he does it, but he does 7 days water-only fast quarterly. And there's been things that shows that it is healthful in your longevity as far as reducing cholesterol, and I was recommended to do that from a cholesterol specialist. But a lot of people will do kind of a combination of those things, and again, they're not doing them every day of their lives most of the time, but it is a regimen that they're kind of following, and they're trying to stick to a healthy lifestyle, and so maybe they're doing the time-restricted feeding with some hypocaloric, and they may be doing one of those dietary restrictions, during that time period. But as we say, it's not every day, because you want to say moderation. You got to every once in a while, enjoy a boozy cake. I'm just saying.
Well, I can
but if
honestly
you're doing
say-
the right thing 90% of the time, you're going to be healthier for it.
I can honestly say, I might live longer if every quarter or every month I only had water for 7 days, but I would not be fit to be around. I would be cranky because I have got to have.
we're not going to put
some
you on that one.
veggies. I got to have some veggies, and I got to have my Louisiana seafood. I could cut out a lot of things, but Louisiana seafood is not one of them.
I would have a hard time with the water as well. I do very well with the 500 calorie, restriction and the time restricted eating. But water alone, I haven't made myself hit that.
Well, there's a lot
yet.
of people that do fast and they pray when they fast, and it is a prayer. It's part of their spiritual journey.
And I didn't realize till not too long ago that my cousin fasts every Wednesday and has for ever. But part of this, we want to talk about. This is long-term healthy habits. It doesn't involve just your food. It also involves getting enough sleep. It also involves exercising some, and getting your mindset and your spirituality in the right way. So it's a whole big concept, and food is just one part of those things.
And it's not so much about just how you look. It's really what's going on internally, because if you're healthy on the inside, you're going to be beautiful on the outside.
Well, and paying attention to your diet actually will help you reduce your risk for not just COVID and the complicated, the sequela and complications if you do get COVID, but long-term health issues with diabetes, heart disease, all of those
High blood
things
pressure,
where you pay
hypertension
attention
is
to
a
your
huge
diet.
comorbidity.
And one of the things I noticed when I was listening to this podcast was it is okay to be hungry sometimes. Sometimes people think, I'm hungry, I gotta eat. No, it's all right to be hungry, sometimes.
Sure.
So we don't always have to stay full.
And we'd like to know what your ideas are. If you go to Facebook for Rocket Right Radio, tell us what diets work for you. Put some comments up there. Let us know.
Absolutely. Let us
We'd be
know.
happy to hear from you and share some of your good ideas.
Yeah, have you tried it? What works for you? Share your success stories with us, because we all want to be successful.
That's right. Speaking of successful, Shelli and Toby Tomplay, they have been very successful with their playing in the kitchen. So they're going to share with us a little bit about what they do.
And painting in the kitchen.
And painting in the kitchen. I think they're having a good time in the kitchen. I think everybody should do a little kitchen dancing, a little cooking, So they'll be with us in just a minute, so stay tuned.
It will
and we'll
lift
share
your
it.
spirits.
That's exactly right.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I've had my fair share of experiences with disasters, and I know Louisiana's helping one another is as much a part of our culture as gumbo and Mardi Gras. When it comes to disasters, you can help your community most by getting trained as a volunteer to help with the disaster recovery. For more information about this, visit the websites below and be prepared.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield, and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there. That this place is cutting edge.
And you're back with the Rocket Right Show. Hurricane Betsy Barnes on the end, and a fabulous music duo right here in the center. Tomplay with Shelli and Toby Tomplay. Thank y'all for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
So, all right. So I want to know this because, okay, y'all were in a band together and you've done music together. Did y'all know each other before the music scene or after?
You want to take this one or you want me to?
You take it. He's a better storyteller than I am.
So we did know each other. Shelli and I met each other in passing many years before we got together. And
many, many years.
Yeah. And as it turned out, we re-met again many years later when we were both single and free. And about 6 months after that, we started playing music together. It all started in the kitchen.
It did.
It all started in the kitchen. Wow.
And y'all been playing well together ever since.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have. So, well, let's talk about your music styles and your songwriting styles and how, I mean, were they very similar? I mean, or no?
No, not at all. So I wasn't a really prolific writer. Toby's always been a writer, but when we got together, we kind of melded our different styles. I come from more of a pop background, and he's singer-songwriter.
Yeah. But like also drums were my first instrument, so I love the beat.
I did not even know that about you.
And Shelli said, I've always written to beats and grooves. And I said, well, I kind of love beats and grooves. So we tried our hand at writing to beats, and that's how we forged our style. So we both have reshaped how we write, and it's just been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That is really cool. So I'm sure it's really cool to create the new music together, but y'all been doing some special things with some classic songs. Talk about that.
Well, she and I hear things differently. And we recently covered Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, which everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love Fleetwood Mac.
We heard it in a weird, dark, kind of vibey way, different than them. And so we decided to start licensing these iconic songs and producing them in our own style. And we shot a music video for it. You can check it out on YouTube.
It is amazing. I have seen it.
Yes. Look up Tomplay, Tomplay Dreams. And we've recently covered Come Together by the Beatles, which will be available right now on tomplaymusic.com.
Oh, great.
Cool.
That's wonderful.
And we haven't told anybody this, but we just covered, are you guys fans of Grease?
Yes.
Yeah.
So You're the One That I Want, but in a weird, dark, vibey kind of way.
Well, I can't wait
By
to
the
hear
time this
that.
airs, it should be on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere else you can.
Oh, that's great. I know all the words to Grease because my mother played it in our house when it was like the disc thing, the player, over and over and over and over. We danced all around to it. Yeah, so
Now,
that's some really great music.
Did you do a video for that one too?
Not yet.
It's coming.
It might be coming.
It might be. It hasn't been released yet, but what's so funny is if you know Toby, he's like the happiest person ever. And for some reason, when we hear the versions of these songs that we hear and the style that we do them in, it's very dark and kind of, I don't want to say creepy, but
I think it's very creepy.
Definitely not happy.
And then multiply. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. So I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, let's, COVID has been hard for all musicians.
Yes.
And I know that the band thing, the full band thing, has not been happening. But y'all were able to be extremely successful in your kitchen again with the Wind Down Wednesdays kitchen sessions.
Yes.
Say, talk about that. As I pass y'all some wine, like, have you ever had that wine, Toby?
F-U-C-K?
You see me?
I do see it right here. We have not had it. Let's try
It's
it.
words, not letters. F-U-C-K.
K-A-Y, like me. I didn't know there was a wine that was named after me, and I said, well, we've got to have it, and especially we can't have anything that y'all don't have on your Wind Down Wednesdays.
That's right.
Yes. I want you to feel like it's in your kitchen,
I kind of
right?
feel like we're in our kitchen right now, don't you?
Yeah.
Good. Well,
That's a
that's
really
how we
cool
want you to feel.
screen
We want you to be in everyone's kitchen.
That's
Cheers.
right. Cheers. Here's to you and your success.
So, yeah. So that you have lots of followers. That's on Wednesday nights at 7, is that right?
Yes.
Wednesdays at 7 is the Wind Down Wednesday.
So, well, before we have y'all break into song, let's talk a little bit about your Sunday nights, because that focuses a little bit more on your art, even though Toby's playing music too.
Look how
and you're painting this Roni the Tiger.
Roni
Tell me,
the Tiger.
how did you decide to do that?
Oh my gosh. Well, so my typical art is poured flat down on the ground, so I've never really done any kind of live painting or painting in front of people or anything like that. Toby, about 2 weeks into the quarantine, he got very restless and wanted to start doing social distancing block parties for our neighborhood. And I am an extreme introvert, and so I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do during these block parties? I'm gonna have to like DJ with him? And so I decided to break my easel out and paint for the neighbors. And so that's how
incredible.
That's how Roni came about. We were watching the Tiger King. We were binge watching the Tiger King.
Such a strange character of that movie.
It made an impression. I'm an LSU alum, so we love the Tigers.
We love Tiger fans.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
Tiger fans.
And tell us about the name Roni for your tiger.
That was all him.
So, I mean, we're all going through Rona. Woody Overton, that's his drink word anytime he does a live, Rona. So, we're going through this negative time, and we couldn't name it something negative. So I thought,
Right.
Roni, let's make something good come out of this dark time that we're living in.
Well, and let's talk about, because the uniqueness is everything is different in his glasses. So what all have you painted in the glasses, and where do you get your inspiration for what goes? What is he seeing during this time?
Roni is just kind of doing his own thing during coronavirus. He's going all over places. He's going to LSU games. He was at the national championship, hanging out with Richard Lawrence. That one was Richard Lawrence's championship rings.
Which we have permission for, by the way.
Yes.
That's good. Yes.
He grills.
Thank you, Matt Moscona, from After Further Review.
He boils crawfish. He surfs.
He went to Murder Bayou.
He went to Murder Bayou.
Which is a real life, real crime reference.
Yes, for our first Roni that we had a co-host with, Woody Overton, the previous guest, came over and we cut up and painted a Roni.
Now I want a Roni. Don't you want a Roni?
You can bid on it on Sunday nights, because these have really been racking up in value.
It has been such a blessing, and we have been so busy. I mean, I literally don't stop. So neither does Toby. I mean, we've just been so blessed during these strange times.
And if you can't catch it Sunday, RoniTheTiger.com is now an active website, and you can buy prints.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yes. That's great.
Yes.
A huge business that came out of the pandemic. Now, I don't want to run out of time, because we want folks to hear you so that they're going to be dying to tune in. I guess they could watch from their beds.
Yeah,
you're going to be in your kitchen. You can just lay back, pull it up. But let's hear a song. What do you want to play for us?
We're going to do a song called Hearts on Fire.
Ooh, I like it.
It's from our last EP, from our last record.
All right. Hearts on Fire it is.
Me muero por tu corazón.
Estoy viva cuando nos tocamos.
No words could ever describe it. The heat I feel when you're close. My heart's on fire. My heart's on fire. When you lay your hands on me. With every touch, the flames get higher. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. My heart's on fire.
Mon cœur brûle pour toi. Je mourrai pour toi.
Your red lips here on my skin.
The slow burn,
is
paralyzing.
And this fever
is steady rising.
My heart's on fire. My heart's on fire. When you lay your hands on me. With every touch, the flames get higher. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. My heart's on fire. My heart's on fire. My heart's on fire. When you lay your hands on me. With every touch, the flames get higher. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. My heart's on fire.
Oh, that was amazing, y'all. So,
I loved it.
Tell folks before we run out of time, where's the best place to follow you, to tune in for your lives, to see the Ronis?
Find us on Facebook, Toby Tomplay Facebook, Shelli Brown Art on Instagram, and ShelliBrownArt.com, RoniTheTiger.com,
RoniTheTiger.com, brand new website.
and Spotify, iTunes, all that.
Yeah.
There's so many places. We're going to put that on our Facebook page at Rocket Right Radio, so you can follow it. Yes, and yes, Toby, as who you heard, did the theme song and produces Real Life, Real Crime.
Best podcast on the planet.
Yes, and you also produce other things as well as Bubba Plochet's song, and he was with us a few weeks ago, and even more projects that we don't have time to talk about. But we're going to have y'all back because it was great. Thank you for bringing us the music, and
Okay, thank you, Betsy.
glad we
And
could
here's
share
to
a little
you.
wine with you in our kitchen.
Cheers.
And if
so-
you're gonna rock it,
Make sure you rock it
right. Yeah, woo!
Cheers.
Cheers,
to a
y'all.
good time and great music.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.